Over the last week, we have been seeing a lot of people speculate on if this next big update around CS2 was going to be one of the biggest updates of the year, because it was going to be the Armory refresh. It was going to be one of the biggest ones where we see a potential new case and new charms and, new stickers. So a lot of people speculated that this was going to be essentially the biggest update, because here we have from Extrapus, CS2 released 2 years ago, the Armory being 1 year in CS2, 1.40.8.8 branch added again, XP exploiters getting unbanned in less than 24 hours, biggest update of the year coming this week. So again, this is one of the biggest updates yet, and we have the patch notes, and let's just be real here, okay? This is coming right off the back of this update, which, again, as a CS2 player and as a case opener as well, this update was horrible. I don't think that I'm the only one that believes this. There has been a lot of individuals saying that this was a completely L update from Valve, because this introduced the Genesis collection, which was a completely different case opening sort of vibe, if you will. Obviously, yes, this was for the EU players that can't really open cases because of regulations, but the way that this was essentially marketed to us, or at least released to us, was very scummy of Valve, because they put prices on the skins in this terminal. And let's just be honest here, $1,400 for a red? Yeah, I don't think Valve had the mindset of their consumers in mind when they were creating this. So this was a big L of an update, and we were hoping that this next big update was something special. And well, it really isn't. Here we have the update. We have community maps, charms, and more. Now, the first update was this one, which got released at 7:42 p.m. EDT. And then this one got released right around the same exact time. So these kind of go hand in hand with each other. The first update is this one, where they just kind of fixed a few things. They did update us with the Armory. Again, we don't really need to read this one too much, but I brought this up because it kind of shows us a few of the charms. I'll go over that here in a second. But here we have Added Missing Link Community Charms Collection featuring 23 new charms created by Counter-Strike Workshop community artist. Added Dr. Boom Charms Collection featuring 22 new charms. Added 2025 Community Stickers Collection featuring 29 new stickers created by Counter-Strike Workshop community artist. Added Sugarface 2 Stickers Collection featuring 9 new stickers with the Sugarface theme. Removed Gallery Case, which we already knew that it was getting removed. Graphic Collection and Character Craft stickers from the Armory. Now, pretty much anything around the gallery case will most likely go up a little bit in value, same with the graphic collection. But beyond that, there's just a few other changes to gameplay and spectating and stuff like that. The main thing that I'm still waiting on is when cash, right? I'm so tired of the Prem map pool at this point, simply because it's so boring to play Ancient and Mirage over and over again. But outside of that, it's not a crazy update. Here we have the maps that they added. Again, I'm not really a huge fan of community maps. I don't really play them too much. I mainly play Prem. Some comp I play here and there, but I mainly just play Prem. But the new Armory content, I mean, they don't look too bad. They're interesting for sure, but I mean, I just expected a little bit more out of this Armory refresh. There's no new case. I don't know if they're just betting on the Genesis collection essentially being the replacement for the new case and saying, hey, well, we have the uplink terminal, so, if they're complaining about a new case, they could just go and buy this. And right now on the Steam market, if we're going to go check this out, the sealed Genesis terminal is about $2.04. This is significantly cheaper than where it was recently. I mean, this thing has kind of fallen off a cliff, because it was getting sold for about $14, $17, $19. At some point in time, it was, selling for over like $40+. But I just don't think that this is a good purchase. I don't really think that this is even something I would put money into and support, because I just really think that this was a very, very big. I think it's just an L from Valve, if I'm being honest with you guys, because them putting prices on the market is just something that feels so wrong and scummy at the same time. So I expected a new case, at least something big from this update, because everyone was anticipating this being one of the biggest updates of the year. I'm not the only one either. Everyone thought it was going to be, and it kind of just feels, I don't know, insignificant. It doesn't feel like much. Kind of feels as if Valve is just kind of teasing us with nonsense at this point. But one thing that I will say Valve did was they banned Chinese Armory farmers. That's right. We have over here from Osni CS2, Valve banned Chinese Armory farmers, explanation in the replies. And here we have the video from Osni's channel, I believe. And essentially what's been happening, and I've been looking into this a bit, is anyone that was farming the armory, and there was a lot of these bots that were farming upwards of 15,000. No, that's not a typo. 15,000 stars ready for the new collection drops, and Valve just backbanned almost all of the accounts tied back to this Chinese Armory star bot farmer. This is from Alex Swag. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but if you guys want to go follow him, you guys are more than welcome to. But regardless of that, here we have some of the screenshots. So this is the account that just got VAC banned. We have over here the 15,000 stars. I'll open this up in a new tab just so that you guys can see it. Here we have 6,000 stars. He's essentially saying 15,000 in the title description of this. But then we also have another screenshot. Again, this is all in Chinese. I'm not going to try to read it, but this is the this is like the translated view of it. So I've already added $2,000 to my account, ready to get 5,000 stars and wait for new collectibles. And this is just them talking about how the VAC operation just hit the market. There must be a VAC operation before the Arsenal update, which essentially was banning all of these farmers. So this is kind of crazy to see. And this is not the only post that I saw regarding this. Lychee CS also put out a post regarding breaking a wave of armory farming accounts has been permanently trade banned, big impact coming for the market. And here we have another screenshot of a VAC ban. And we have many Chinese semi-automatic and automated scripts have been blocked. Also, many people buy their software from the West, or Western farming accounts also being blocked a lot. And if we're looking at the market itself, there really isn't a huge impact just yet, but this is very, very interesting. But it's also interesting because there is no new case. It's just new charms and stickers. So the question here is, were those accounts even going to buy any of this? I mean, would it make sense to buy stickers and charms? I mean, I don't really see them as a good investment at all. It's a very similar to, some of the capsules. I don't really think that some of the capsules are even good either, or even stickers themselves. Just depending on, of course, the, tournament or so. But there's no real big impact just yet in the market. We're still trading around like almost $4 billion. There's not a big sell-off at all happening in like the top 30 skins. So, when we think about this, I don't know what kind of major drop would happen because of this. But if this is the case, I personally see this as a good thing. I really do think that maybe Valve is waiting to release a new case, and they're just kind of banning all of these accounts in response to a new case potentially dropping. That's definitely a possibility. But I personally like the idea of these types of accounts getting banned, simply because we have already witnessed so much manipulation in this market. We don't really need more, especially at a time where, regulations are becoming an issue overseas. If we see and we continue to see manipulation at mass peaks, that's only going to warrant more regulators stepping in and more decisions being made that could possibly lead to even more updates, very similar to the Genesis collection, which I'm pretty sure almost every single player that is playing CS2, regardless of if you are actually playing or just a trader or collector, I'm pretty sure we don't want that. because this was one of the worst updates that I personally see, released from Valve, especially over time. I mean, I just think that this was a horrible update. So let's see what happens here. In my personal opinion, this could definitely be Valve preparing to just kind of wipe the market of these accounts to release a new case potentially. That's what I would be hoping for, but we'll have to wait and see. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. And with that being said, guys, Nick, thanks for watching. Peace out.